Hi guys, my name is Kendra Cook, and I will be doing a presentation on Jainism as soon as my computer will load here. Okay. All right, so technically Jainism was founded by Mahavira. He was born in northeast India in 599 BC. He was a prince born of a king and a queen in the warrior caste. At 30 years old, he left the royal palace. There we go. At 30 years old, he left the royal palace to live the life of an ascetic, which is one without worldly pleasures and comforts. He fasted and meditated for 12 and a half years, and through this, he achieved true enlightenment. He taught his views to others until he died at the age of 72 years old. Followers say that after intensive fasting, he achieved moksha, or final liberation. In his lifetime, he established a community of 14,000 monks and 36,000 nuns. Today, most Jains live in India. According to the 2001 census of India, there are around 42 million Jains there. However, that number might be a little too small or underestimated because a lot of Jains today still identify as Hindus. There are also about 25,000 Jains living in Britain, is another stat. And I do have to mention, it's important to note that followers would not say that Mahavira founded the religion, so to speak. They believe that it's a truth that was around before him, and the reason they listen to him specifically is because they think his words represent a series of beginningless, endless, and fixed truth. A tradition without any origin, human or divine, which in this world age has been channeled through Siddhartha, the last of Mahavira's disciples to exist. Over here. The main principle of Jainism is concern for the welfare of everything in the universe and the universe itself. All plants and animals have a soul, so all lives are of equal value. Um, all Jainists are vegetarians, and they want to minimize use of resources, such as my cat in the back, which you can see she has a soul, and she is just as important as me in the Jainist religion. Uh, so our vegetarians, they also want to use as little resources as possible, and the ultimate goal is uh, to break out of the cycle of reincarnation and to have the full liberation with the soul existing in bliss. This is achieved by removing all karma from the soul, which we will talk about in a minute. There are no gods or spiritual beings, so it is completely a self-help religion. There are three guiding principles known as the right, known as the three jewels: the right belief, the right knowledge, and the right conduct. There are also five great vows known as the five Mahaviratas, which is non-violence, non-attachment to possessions, not lying, not stealing, and sexual restraint. Um, of these, the lack of violence is the most important, and celibacy is the ideal. Their sacred texts are called agarmas. Agamas. Um, there is no head priest or priest at all in this religion. There are only monks and nuns, and they were not allowed to possess religious books or to write. So, unfortunately, a lot of the teachings have been lost. This was especially a problem in 350 BC when there was a famine that killed a lot of the monks there. And this is the large cause between a lot of the disagreements between the two sects that exist, between within Jainism. Those two sects are Digamba, which is sky clad, and Savet Timbara, which is white clad. So they had a lot of disagreements about which scriptures were actually lost and which are still relevant today and how to interpret them. Jainists have a very physical and detailed idea of karma. Personally, before I researched this, I thought karma was a mix of good and bad, and it was sort of what balanced out with you. But Jainists believe that karma is strictly a negative thing. It is the bad that sticks to your soul due to negative and immoral actions, which are received through actions, words, and thoughts. It is the example that I saw is that it's like dust that floats around without effect until it sticks to your soul, and your soul becomes sticky uh, through these bad acts that we've talked about or being immoral. Um, Karma then negatively impacts the soul while it's on there and causes the person to do more bad things or influences the person to do more bad things. And it's kind of a really hard cycle to get out of. Karma can be avoided in two different ways. One is by behaving well, and then the other is to have the right mindset so that when you still receive karma, it sort of slides off and does not affect you. There are 8 different types of karma. There are 4 that are harmful and 4 that are non harmful. We need to know that for the rest of what we're going to talk about, but I'm not going to go into detail about them because they're really complicated. But if you're interested in it, feel free to look into that. Okay, so they do believe in reincarnation again. When someone dies, the soul goes to the next body instantly. Quality of life is determined by the current karma that person has when they die. So the way that they die and the mental state they're in makes a big difference. So they really hope for the ideal of sort of, dying in a warm bed while thinking of spiritual matters, and hopefully people around you who can help you do that. There are 2 different goals to achieve. There is a delivered being and an enlightened being, which are different. An enlightened being is free from all harmful karma, but not from all non-harmful karma. And a delivered being is free from all of it. And then that delivered being is um, is called an adherent. And they then have true enlightenment, and the soul can go to that place that's in sort of a different realm, different sphere, and experience pure bliss with others who are in the same state. Um, However, Jaina's teachings say that there will not be a truly enlightened person in present times. So I see that as sort of discouraging or negative because followers of this belief go in knowing that they can achieve the ultimate goal, but they might see it differently. Um, Fasting is very important. One might fast at any time for cleansing and sharpening of the mind. However, it's most common during festivals and holy times. And more women than men, practice this, surprisingly. Um, there is also a process called Santhara, where a person fasts with the intention of starving themselves to death when the body can no longer house the spiritual soul. And many people don't view this as suicide because it has a religious tie, but many people do, and this is actually a really debated topic. So, when Jainism was first introduced by Mahavira, it was thought to bring a much more enlightened attitude regarding women with it at the time. Since all souls have equal value, then women play their role in that is just like men do. However, there's still some really serious limitations, especially within the Dagambara sect. I mean, within this sect, it is if you are a woman, you are automatically inferior in as far as spirituality goes. Um, some of the reasons behind this are because they believe women can't achieve liberation without being a man first, because um, Mahavira set an example of total nudity